Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the Dream Team Professor podcast. Today we'll be taking a look at the weekend's action on Dream Team and then doing a quick update on my teams. So we'll just get started then with the Friday night fixture, which was Brentford versus Brighton. This was a 2-0 win to Brentford in this one, and Raya got the star man, which was 13 points. He made seven saves in this one, and it was surprisingly one-sided in the other direction actually. Brighton had 72% of the possession, 21 shots and 7 on target, but just no finishing again from Brighton in this game, and Tony ended up getting 2 goals in this one, so he got a total of 12 points because he got a yellow card as well, but an 8 rating for him, but an 8.8 for Raya, who got the star man. Tony's one was a penalty, and then the other one was assisted by Onyeka. Another note I just put down, because a few people I know have him, Mbeumo, he hit the woodwork, and he only managed to get just a 7 rating in this one. So he got the 3 points, but he was unlucky not to get more from this game, to be honest. But we'll leave it at that one there, because I don't think there's too much ownership from these two teams. But David Raya with a star man, and there's a bit of a theme this week actually of goalkeepers getting star man. So we'll move on to the next game. Then on Saturday, the first kickoff was Leicester versus Crystal Palace, which ended goalless this one, and saw another goalkeeper getting the star man, which is Guaita. He got the 13 points for this one with the clean sheet, and obviously clean sheets all around. But quite a boring game, this one, to be fair. But I actually put down that I thought Harvey Barnes looked quite good in this one, but Who Scored didn't feel the same way, and they only gave him a 6.1 rating. But he's someone I would keep an eye on. He's starting most of the games, and I did think he looked quite dangerous. Someone who's picked a bit more frequently is James Maddison, and he was banter king at the weekend. Everyone sort of knew he was going to be on one booking away from being suspended, and he managed to go the whole game without getting a booking. And then the last bit of action from that game was him diving to try and get a penalty, which saw him get the yellow card, and now he's going to miss the next game in this one. And just to round it off, if you did have him on Dream Team, he finished with a 6.9 rating as well. So that last yellow card might have been what tipped him back away from getting the 3 points too. So quite frustrating for anyone that has James Maddison in their side. Someone else I'll just put down a note for now is you've got Castane. So he got 8 points in this one and a 7.1 rating. He's looking really dangerous, and he's playing really quite high up as like an attacking fullback / wing back. But I just noted he is 2.4 million, so I think that is quite steep considering how bad Leicester have been so far. But they've got 2 clean sheets out of 3 now, and his ratings have been 7, 6.9 and 7.1. So, Who Scored are kind of liking what he's doing. So if you are kind of looking for someone maybe outside of the European teams, but with fairly good fixtures, Leicester aren't too bad, and he seems to be scoring quite well for them. So that's someone to keep an eye on as well. One last thing I noticed was that Daka obviously started again ahead of Vardy. Either way, it's not working out for the strikers there at Leicester at the moment. But yeah, that's all for Leicester. I haven't really taken down many notes, to be honest, from Crystal Palace. Quiet one for Zaha, and obviously Guaita got the star man. I did think Eze looked really dangerous, but he's not someone I'd really consider putting in my team. So yeah, that was it for the Leicester Palace game. I'm going to try and speed through these ones a bit, and then obviously get onto the teams that have got more ownership in them. So then we were on to Fulham versus Bournemouth, which ended 2-2. I know quite a few people had Mitrovic, but they might have already taken him out because he was injured for a little while. But he got back on the score sheet. And I put down actually he's now on 60 points, and he's averaging 6.7 points per game, which is pretty incredible. It has him up there for points per game. That has him up there second behind Haaland. So it's pretty impressive, really, the games that he has been involved in. He is really hitting those numbers. This one was a penalty, and then you had Pereira who got the assist in this game. On the Bournemouth side of things as well, you had Billing, he got an assist. He actually got star man as well in this game, so 10 points in total. And now actually he's the 6th highest point scoring midfielder. That's broken down into 3 star man awards, 3 goals and 1 assist so far. So again, we said I think it's in either the last pod or the one before, We did say he is performing quite well, but yeah, whether or not you want to put a Bournemouth player in your team, yeah, I personally wouldn't do it. But he is right up there in the points. And then yeah, you got Solanke with a goal in this one too. And other than that, you had a few 7 ratings in the defence, but I can't imagine many people are going to have either Bournemouth defenders or Fulham defenders this way round. So I think really Mitrovic is probably the most owned here. I didn't put down, sorry, as well, Solanke, he got 10 points in total. That was a goal and an assist. So yeah, 10 points and a 7.6 rating for him. Then we had Wolves at home to Nottingham Forest, and Wolves seem to be looking to turn things around now. Now they've sacked their manager. And Ruben Neves got the star man in this one, so 13 points. He got a goal from the penalty spot. Sarr, he actually saved a penalty in this one, and he got a 7.6 rating, 11 points, which Neves only got 7.7 rating. So Sarr was unlucky not to get the clean sheet in this one, and we would have had another keeper on a star man award. But one thing I did put down for Sarr in goal, he's now the 3rd highest keeper, and he's scoring higher than all of the European keepers apart from Ederson so far. So yeah, I think he was slightly more expensive at the beginning of Dream Team than some of the other non-European keepers, but yeah, he's seeming to justify why he was a little bit more expensive than those other guys. The only other person who I've taken down of note, and it's a bit in jest really, but you had Adama Traore. He got a 7 rating in this one and 3 points. He used to be a 7 rating machine on Who Scored, and he's starting to start in the team quite regularly now. So we might see him popping up with 3 points here and there, but yeah, he's not really going to get any other attacking returns because his shooting's awful, and even his crossing. He had one good season where he's kind of putting them in for Jimenez, but Wolves just have no one finishing at the moment. So he might chip in with his because of his dribbles, but other than that, most of his crosses are just being put out for throw-ins. So you might see a few 3 points here and there, but I still wouldn't put him in. Right, then on to our first game that included a Champions League side, which was Spurs. And Harry Kane got the star man in this one. No surprise. He put away a pen again in this one after missing in the week before. But Son only got a 6.9 rating in this one, so you'd be disappointed if you'd brought him in. And then I've put down here that Doherty started this game, and he looked quite good, to be honest. He's very attacking, and he got a rating in this game. But one thing I would... he got the rating and the clean sheet points. But one thing I did put down was that Jed Spencer's come back in now. Well, not back in. He just never has really had a chance under Conte. But now he's been thrown in the mix as well. You've kind of got quite a lot of options now in the wing back areas. I know a lot of people had Sessegnon, and I've got him in a few of my teams. But now you've kind of got Spence, Sessegnon, Doherty, Perisic and Emerson Royale. So it's going to be quite tough to decide who's going to get those starting lineup places. So there's a lot of rotation there, and you were kind of getting away with having Sessegnon because he was coming on as a sub, and he was always going to be the first sub if he didn't play. But now Spence is in the mix as well. I think it's making it a lot less attractive to have one of those wing backs from Spurs. Onto Højbjerg, who I tipped or mentioned in the last pod as well, and he's got on the score sheet again with another goal. I was having a look, and this is his. I think this is his best return now, or he's on track for his best return. I think at Southampton, I saw it was either 4 goals and 3 assists, or the other way round. But yeah, he's already equalled that now so far. So. Yeah, he's still looking like quite a good option for maybe a set and forget in that midfield, because he just plays every game, and obviously because of the goal he's got a 7 rating again in this one. So I don't know how long it will last, but so far what we are 10, 11 games in, and he's producing the points so far. A couple things to note as well. We've got Richarlison went off with a calf injury. And we've already had Kulusevski go out injured as well, so I'm kind of not sure what Spurs will do going forward. They went to a 5-3-2 with obviously Son and Kane up front, and they brought Basuma in the middle with Bentancur and Højbjerg. So I think they'll probably stick to that maybe. The only other option, they've got Brian Gill, I saw come back in. a few games ago, but I don't think he's even on Dream Team yet as an option anyway. And then I guess you've got Lucas Moura, who could also play that position. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see him go to a 5-3-2. They've got a couple tricky games coming up. So, yeah, I think it might be that more defensive 5-3-2 with Kane and Son up front. So it might work out a bit better for Son owners, where he only got 6.9 in this one. Hopefully you can get a few more attacking returns if you bought him in. Then it was on to the Sunday fixtures, and we had Villa at home to Chelsea in this one. That was a 2-0 win to Chelsea, and we've got it again. We've got another goalkeeper as star man. That was Kepa again, and he's doing really well at the moment. His price has gone up now to 2.9. I have him as, so his price is creeping up nearer towards 3. But he's looking really good value for money at the moment. And that was his 4th clean sheet in a row. And we were doubting at first with Chelsea. Obviously, they struggled to keep any clean sheets for quite a while. And there was a few of us bringing in like Cucurella and a few other options. But now they are keeping those clean sheets. And 4 in a row, they're looking like really good options to have in your defence. And Kepa is very cheap to get in there. So he got the 13 points in this one. Just as well. He had done a really good triple save, and also there was a point blank header as well from Bailey that he managed to get a hand on as well to keep out. So yeah, that was a good game all in all for the Chelsea defenders. But one thing I would say, although they got the 4th clean sheet in a row, by no means did they look solid, to be fair, at the back. Like they had to change things up. I think it was at half time they made a lot of changes because Aston Villa were getting a lot of chances, and obviously that's why Kepa had so many saves and done so well in this game. So yeah, one thing to note, don't know how long it'll last, but after 4 clean sheets, it still is looking quite good. Onto that sort of half-time changes, I had Cucurella in quite a few of my teams, and he went off after 45 minutes, and I think they had a bit of a change of shape. So yeah, hopefully he's just rested for the next fixture. We've got sort of 2 Premier League games in a short period of time, so maybe it could have been rested for that, but it looked more like a change of shape. But he had him and Chilwell starting the game with Cucurella at left centre-back and Chilwell at left wing-back. So it's good to see those 2 starting, because we wasn't sure whether they'd be fighting for the same space or whether they could both get a chance. So yeah, it could be an option. Then I put a note down for Sterling as well. So he hit the bar, and I think he's been quite underwhelming though, all in all. He played off the right on this game. I know it's not an orthodox wing-back role, but yeah, it was like a winger, and they didn't have any sort of recognised sort of right wing back, so it kind of was him, but he hit the bar, but he wasn't that dangerous. I think in terms of ratings, he got 6.7, and I just put down now that he's only had 1 goal and 1 assist since Potter come in, and two ratings as well. So it's not really what you'd expect for someone of his sort of price point, and he's got quite a good record scoring goals, but they're just not really happening for him at the minute. So yeah, I'd expect better from Sterling. But then on to Mason Mount, who was actually brilliant this game. He got 2 goals in this one. One from a really bad Mings mistake, and Mings has just been awful this season. I know he used to get a lot of stick before, but yeah, what was he, like 6'6" or something? And he was just terrible header. And Mount just slipped in and just finished it off. And then the second goal as well was quite a long range free kick for Mount, and he was on that, and yeah, it didn't even put it right in the top corner or anything, but he caught Emi Martinez out massively for that one. So yeah, 2 goals in this game, and yeah, in his last 4 games now, Mount's got 4 assists and 2 goals, 33 points in total, so he really is on form at the minute. A little bit disappointing he got a yellow card, but yeah, it's not, when you're scoring 2 goals and you've got him in your team, it's not that much of a big deal. But yeah, other than that was pretty much it from Chelsea. As I said, like the defence wasn't that solid. So in terms of defenders, even though they got the clean sheet, only Kepa got he got the star man and an 8.7, but none of the other defenders did get a rating in this one. You had Azpilicueta on 6.6, Thiago Silva, who they love, he got 6.5, and Chilwell, Koulibaly both got booked and both got 6.6 and 6.2, so pretty low scores all around. Chalobah was the nearest with 6.9, but yeah, hopefully they could be a bit more solid and get some more points going forward. But yeah, that Chelsea, I'll move on to it in a bit, but that Chelsea train team I've got going is climbing the ranks quite quickly for me, so that's a good one. Then on to the Leeds-Arsenal game, which was quite an eventful game, to be honest. And a game where Leeds were really impressive, to be fair. I thought they were by far the better team, and I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll throw my hands up and say Arsenal were pretty terrible, to be honest. It started quite well, and Saka was the goal scorer at 35 minutes. So he got 7.6 rating and the goal, and Ødegaard got the assist for that one. Saka's up to 5 goals and 5 assists now in total, so quite good for him. But Leeds were just all over us, to be honest. Their press was, just stopping any sort of possession or playing out that we were doing, and it was pretty one-sided in my opinion. And I did think we got lucky. So you had a few different things happen that were quite controversial in this game. So you had the Saliba, he gave away a penalty for a handball, which was quite a blatant one as well. So yeah, he gave away a penalty there, which I think it was Bamford stepped up and missed that one. He seemed desperate to score. And yeah, he seems like one of these players that just needs so many chances to put one away. It was quite a frustrating game for him, and he finished on a 5.3 and a -3. I don't think anyone will be bringing him in yet. But yeah, that wasn't even the first sort of penalty scenario. So you had that first one that Bamford missed when Saliba gave away the handball. And then you had Gabriel went on to get star man, but it was in jeopardy for a little while, right at the end. So I think he was kind of shielding the ball off, and then Bamford just ran into the back of him and knocked him over. But Gabriel did have a naughty lash out, and he was lucky, didn't really quite connect on Bamford, but Bamford made the complete most of it, went down very dramatically, and the lino flagged it. The ref gave him a red card, Gabriel, but luckily VAR, and red card and a penalty as well for it. So we were kind of thinking that had blown the game for Arsenal, but actually VAR took a look at it and gave it the other way in the end. So Gabriel ended up getting the Star Man award that he almost lost for getting a red card. So yeah, if you've got him in your team, you'd have been quite relieved right at the end. And I know quite a lot of people have got the Arsenal blocks. So all in all for Arsenal, it wasn't too bad. You had the yellow card for Gabriel, which the red card actually got overturned to be a yellow in the end, which was kind of strange really if it had been overturned. And then Saliba, he got the yellow for the handball as well. But Ramsdale had a really good game. I think he was actually going to get star man at one point when Gabriel got sent off, but he made quite a few saves in this one. But all in all, I think, to be fair, Leeds could be feeling quite hard done by in this game. All else I put down really was I was mentioning Tomiyasu as a good option after that Liverpool game. And although Arteta come out and said that it was only tactical and it was putting a right footer at left back to counter Salah, he obviously was just saying that to make Tierney feel better, in my opinion, because he started at left back again this game. He got a 7 rating and 8 points. But there's Arsenal keeps subbing off there. I think Ben White came off, and then Tomiyasu moved to right back in the end. Tierney come on. So you kind of can't get it wrong with the Arsenal defenders at the moment. A lot of rotation and a lot of substitutions in that back line. So you seem to be getting clean sheets all around. And Arsenal playing PSV as well midweek. And I think this is a game they're really going to want to win. So I expect they're going to go quite full strength for this game again. Other than that, though, the only other note I've put down now, so that was a clean sheet for Arsenal, and that brings them to 6 clean sheets out of 13. So not a bad showing from Arsenal, to be honest. Looking much more solid at the back. So there's quite a few options there, and they've got fairly good fixtures going forward. So there's no reason why you wouldn't target Arsenal defenders again. Then on to the Man United versus Newcastle game, which was 0-0 again, but actually quite an eventful 0-0, if there's such a thing. So Trippier got the star man for this one, and now that's so he got the 13 points, but I've actually put down that's 7 ratings out of 11 now so far. So majority of the time he's getting those 7 ratings sort of week in, week out. So he's a really good option from outside the European teams, but he's right up there. And I put him down actually. So out of all the defenders, Trippier is actually the third highest defender at the moment. Fabian Schär is 8th, so he's in the top 10. You actually got Dalot from Man United in this game as well, so he's up in 10th for best defenders. So he had quite a lot of best defenders, well, in Dream Team terms, on show in this game, and they've done quite well again. So these are all who scored favourites. So Dalot, he got a 7.3 rating and 8 points. And then Schär got a 7.3 and Trippier got 7.4. So these are all sort of three defenders that who scored are definitely favouring. And I put down for Dalot, he's had out of 13 games now, that's seven ratings that he's had. So that's quite good proof that whatever he's doing, who scored are liking it. So he's still quite a good option for those points from defence. But yeah, on to the sort of drama from this game. So you had quite a few penalty shouts. I thought all three of them should have been penalties in my opinion. Obviously VAR and such felt differently, but I thought that the Wilson one should have been a penalty, where he was fouled by Varane. I thought Ronaldo should have had a penalty when he went to take a shot and sort of Longstaff caught him and it completely messed up Ronaldo's shot without getting the ball or anything like that. If I was the referee, I'd have given that one as well. And even the Jadon Sancho one, I thought that was a pen as well. So yeah, it's quite a controversial game, to be honest. Quite a few talking points afterwards. And then also, you've probably seen the video going around, and if you haven't, I'd search Twitter or the highlights for it. But yeah, Nick Pope had a free kick sort of out of the box. It actually was taken by one of the, it wasn't officially taken, but one of the Newcastle players passed the free kick back to Pope, and Pope sort of stood on it for a little while, looking like he was going to take the free kick. But Ronaldo just come out of nowhere, pinched the ball off of Pope and put it in. He ended up getting a yellow card for doing it, but have a look at yourself and, I don't know, put in the comments what you think. But personally, I think that should have counted as a goal, to be honest. I think the ball was in play, but the referee's back was turned when the ball was passed to Pope. So yeah, Ronaldo ended up getting a yellow card for it. But yeah, might have been a bit of gamesmanship, but I quite like that sort of winning mentality from Ronaldo, and I think he was unlucky in this game not to get anything. Other than that, though, a couple sort of 7 ratings going around. You had Bruno got another 7 rating, but again, he's just not. That's the best you can hope for, really, from Man United players at the minute. All you seem to be getting is the odd 7 rating. They've not really got any clear goal scorers at the minute, or anyone that's chipping in with regular assists. Anthony had a poor game as well. So, other than Dalot, I personally wouldn't tip any of these Man United players at the minute. Potentially Anthony, I thought, was a good option, but again, I'm hearing he's frustrating quite a lot of people at the moment. So yeah, none of those for me. And if anyone did take a punt on Almiron, it was a quieter game for him. He didn't manage to get a goal in this one. Yeah, really from Newcastle, it's just looking like Trippier is the best option, or you might get away with having one of the other defenders like Fabian Schär or Nick Pope maybe in goal. But yeah, other than that, I'd steer clear. Second from last game then, so we had Southampton at home to West Ham, and this was quite a good game actually, I thought personally. Looking back at the highlights on this one, you had a crazy amount of shots from West Ham, and I've put down here that Paqueta, he took 8 shots in this game, and Scamacca took 7, and yes, it looked like, honestly, that Scamacca, every time he got the ball, no matter where he was, the first thing he was looking to do was shoot, and he'd done it quite a few times in the first half. So I think that's quite a good thing to see if you've got him in your dream team. You want someone that's going to just look to hit the target on all opportunities. That's what Kane does really well, I think. Rather than, I know Gabriel Jesus has been brilliant for Arsenal, but he does a lot of build-up play and interlinking, and he's typical Arsenal. They build up to these sort of things, but yeah, with like Kane or Scamacca in this instance, it's just pick up the ball and look to shoot straight away. So I thought that was quite promising. He didn't get any points in this game, but going forward, I think it's obviously been something that Moyes has maybe spoken about, because I think I heard they had something like 25 shots. Didn't translate for anything in the end for Scamacca, but Paqueta, on the other hand, he got the 3 points for a good rating. He got 7.1, and he come close. He hit the post from a Scamacca cross, actually. But I've got him in a couple of my teams, and he seems like he's bedding in quite nicely. And then Declan Rice, he was the guy that got star man. I think it was his first goal of the season. Quite a good strike from outside the box. 8.1 rating in the end, and it was a Ben Rama assist from this one. So you'd be happy if you had him, because he scored from a free kick in midweek as well. So yeah, not too bad from West Ham in the end. 1-1. So it was quite unlucky, actually. I don't know if you saw the highlights, but the Southampton goal was quite controversial as well, because I think Bowen was about to tackle the guy that ended up scoring, and the referee got in his way and blocked him off. So yeah, there was a lot of arguing about that one, and sure, I don't know where it stands in terms of rules, but it didn't look like it should have counted in my eyes. But there we go, 1-1 in the end. The only other note I've taken in this game was Emerson. I know a few people have got Emerson Palmieri in their team. He got a start finally. A lot of people were complaining that he hadn't started in the Premier League. He did get a start, but he ended up coming off in the 59th minute and obviously didn't get any points in this one. So a bit disappointing, especially in, I know it's a Dream Team podcast, but especially in FPL, the 59th minute, it's a bit of a Mickey take in that one. But yeah, nothing for Emerson in this game, but good to see him start a game. So then the grand finale on Sunday, this was Liverpool at home to Man City, and it's amazing how Liverpool have turned things around, to be honest, because this was a game that we were looking like they could have got punished quite heavily by City in the end, but in the end they've managed to keep a clean sheet against City, which clean sheets haven't been that easy to get for Liverpool so far this season, so quite surprising that they managed to keep one against Man City, especially when you saw the lineups as well. You had James Milner starting at right back, and you had Gomez at centre back as well, who had a blinding game, so it took us all by surprise, to be honest. I think I was even bantering on Twitter saying that Milner would have got torn apart at right back, but proved wrong. They were really good, and Alisson again, so another star man for the goalkeeper. He managed to get an assist. He's got to be one of the keepers with the most attacking returns in Dream Team, surely. So he got an assist, just a big kick out straight to Salah. So he got a 15-pointer in this game, 8.8 rating, and Salah as well. What a turn. So it was a direct kick out the hand straight to Salah, who only was just left one-on-one with Cancelo and absolutely turned him. So he got a goal in this one, and he was unlucky not to get another goal. He had a one-on-one that he sort of just missed with Ederson. I know quite a lot of people, though, were a bit disappointed with the ratings on who scored again for this game. So Salah, I thought, was really good in this game, but he ended up getting a 6.7 rating and only 5 points for the goal. So that was quite disappointing in all. But yeah, he's definitely back in the goals now. After that hat-trick against Rangers, I was kind of saying he has to do it. He has to do it against Man City or a few Premier League teams before I start to consider bringing him back in. But yeah, I'm starting to regret it now, taking him out. I took him out for Cancelo last week, which worked out last week. But yeah, now I'm starting to worry about this one, especially as City don't have a midweek game this week. Yes, starting to feel the disappointment. And then you had Trent Alexander-Arnold. So he come on and got the clean sheet points, and he's back fit and was on the bench. So yeah, it's quite good. I was expecting Trent to be out for quite a while. I don't know if I'm ready to bring any... I still don't know whether I'm ready to bring any Liverpool defenders back in my team yet. I'm still not certain they can be trusted, but they've got Trent back and they've got Robertson back now, so they've got both their attacking fullbacks back in. The only thing they've got is Gomez at centre back, which I'm still not convinced, but he had a great game keeping Haaland out. And then on to Haaland, really. I did think he was unlucky. He had quite a few chances, but it does seem quite strange seeing Man City relying on sort of putting crosses into a big man, try and get some headers, and they were his best chances. I think he had a couple headers, and then there was the controversy on this one was a disallowed goal for Foden, which I was kind of gutted when it went in at first. I know quite a few people in my mini leagues have got Foden, and yeah, I was kind of gutted when that went in, but that got overturned by VAR, and personally I think it was a bit soft. I think Haaland made a foul on Fabinho, which then went on. Actually, it went on a bit longer than that, and I don't know whether it would have been given as well. But Haaland sort of kicked the ball out of Alisson's hands a little bit as well, which led to then Foden scoring the goal. But it was ruled out because of the initial foul that Haaland did on Fabinho. Whether or not the kick out the hands would have been disallowed as well, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, Foden's goal was disallowed, so that worked out okay for my teams anyway. But a lot of Foden owners will be disappointed with that one. Foden got a 7 rating. Also Rodri and Gundogan. Nothing from the defenders. And I think I was looking at the team, and personally, I think Pep sort of outdone himself with this one. He's known as a bit of an overthinker. But when I saw the lineup, I was quite surprised. Really, it looked like they only sort of played Haaland, and Foden was the only sort of conventional winger. And I think whichever outlet I looked on, I think it was like Who Scored, had De Bruyne as like the right winger. But they were just sort of playing all of their sort of central midfield players. And it was Cancelo that was playing really high on that right-hand side. But I just thought that this game was like crying out for like either a Mahrez on the other side, or even Bernardo potentially as being another winger, because Liverpool have looked quite dodgy at the fullback areas in the end. But yeah, they just weren't really doing it. And it was like a back three with Akanji, Diaz and Ake in the end. And it was just playing into Liverpool's hands. Liverpool kept catching them on the break, and although City had quite a lot of possession, I still think Liverpool looked like the better team all in all. Yeah, and from the Liverpool team, in terms of ratings, you got Jota that had a 7, and Thiago that had a 7.2, Gomez on a 7.1, and Virgil on a 7.1. Other than that, not many big scorers. Darwin came on but wasn't great, and Firmino wasn't great in this one. And Harvey Elliott, I thought actually looked quite good, but he didn't get any rating for this game either. But yeah, surprising result, and now it's left us all with a bit of thinking to do, whether or not we bring in either the Liverpool defenders or Salah again up front. I think Jota went off injured, so it's the options up front with Diaz out and Jota potentially out. The options have been slimmed down quite a lot for getting the Liverpool attackers in as well. So this could be either a Darwin, Salah or Firmino could be now. Like, I know Salah was already now, but there's not much thinking to do about getting the other options in. So yeah, with Liverpool potentially back, let us know in the comments if you think you'll be bringing any sort of Liverpool defenders back in, or Salah if you took him out already. That's something I'm trying to think about. It's horrible to bring someone back in so soon after you've taken them out, but you've also got to accept if you got it wrong. So yeah, let's start moving on to my team then. We'll do some team updates next. So all in all for me, this is my top team again, still up there as my best team, and it has been for a while, but still not doing too well. So 41 points this game week, and overall I was really surprisingly let down by my City players. But we'll go from the keeper all the way through to the strikers. So I had Hugo Lloris in goal, and he got us to 5 points, clean sheet against Everton. He's got Man United in the next game, so I think that's going to be a tough one. But I do think Conte is good enough defensively to sort Spurs out for that game. And Man United haven't looked great up front, so I wouldn't be surprised if that one is a bit of a stalemate. So we'll wait and see. Tough game on paper, but yeah, even though I'm an Arsenal fan, I kind of do believe that Conte can do quite well with his Spurs team. And then I had Cucurella, who got the clean sheet points, so 5 points from him, so I can't complain about that. But it was a bit disappointing that he went off after 45 minutes, but all I can think is that at least he's going to start this next Brentford game, so hopefully we can get 2 clean sheets for Cucurella. Saliba, he would have got 5 points, but he ended up with 4 just because he got the yellow card and give away the pen. So no rating for him, but he got the clean sheet. One thing that was a bit concerning, I think Saliba's now joined the players that have got 4 yellow cards. So he's walking a bit of a tightrope, but this next game is going to be PSV at home for them. So it's going to be tough trying to decide what this PSV team's going to be. Saliba got his first Europa League game for Arsenal in the last one. I don't know whether or not they'll just go full strength, to be honest, in this one, or whether they'll bring Holding in and it'll be a toss-up really, whether it's Saliba or Gabriel that join him. But yeah, after Gabriel's liability. It was a really good defensive performance from Gabriel, but that little kick out at the end, I don't know whether that's going to upset Arteta or not, so we'll see. I've got Sergio Gomez, who didn't play this game, which is a bit annoying because he's out of the... he missed the Champions League game or got sent off in the Champions League game. But yeah, it's quite clear that Pep didn't want to throw him in against Liverpool, so nothing from him. Cancelo, a rare nothing from him again against Liverpool, and no points for De Bruyne as well. So yeah, quite bad so far from the City guys, and no game in midweek either, so that's disappointing. Then you had Saka, who got a goal and the rating in the Leeds game, so pleased with that. I bought him in the last game for Gundogan just before the price changes, so I was quite pleased to get a goal from Saka in his first game for us. And Mbeumo got a 3-pointer, which was still okay really for his sort of price, but I was gutted. He had the goal disallowed week before and he hit the post in the last game, so that was disappointing. He's got to get a goal soon. And Paqueta hit the post as well, but 3 points again for him, so it's not terrible from those two because they're quite cheap. Then on to the strikers, we had Harry Kane, who got 13 points, and no surprise, another penalty. Seems to enjoy putting those away, but yeah, that's what makes him such a good option to have up front. And then Haaland, and no points from him, so disappointing all in all. That's 610 points in total now, 41 for the game week, and I think that's a slight increase for, up to 34k for me, which this is my best team as well, so it's been a really slow start so far, not looking good at the moment. I was keeping quite positive, but now I'm getting a little bit concerned because I keep making a few gains and then slipping back down. I need to string together a few weeks of gains to really start pushing into those at least the small sort of around the sort of 10k mark would be an improvement, and then yeah, hopefully getting under 10k to be honest. But yeah, we'll keep going. Been really let down by the City assets, which is not going to happen that regularly. But now they're going to all blank in the next game as well in midweek. So all in all, I think this is going to be a pretty painful week in terms of rank. But yeah, not too great, but we won't panic yet. And then we'll move on then to my Chelsea block team, which still is my second highest team now. So obviously that last team's 34k overall. This one now it's still below that last team, but this started out as one of my lower teams, and I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago I started moving towards the Chelsea block on this one, and now it's doing quite well for me anyway. 597 points in total, so not broke the 600 yet, but this one got 44 points in total. Kepa, Silva, Chalobah, Cucurella and Azpilicueta. So all those guys got the 5 points for the clean sheet, and Kepa got the star man in that one as well. So that looked quite good. And then I had Mbeumo and Paqueta again, 3 points each. De Bruyne on a 0, Haaland on a 0. I had Salah who got the 5 points, which was unlucky not really to be an 8 to be honest. And then Darwin Núñez I've got in that team, but I don't know how I feel about Núñez at the minute. He didn't start the Man City game. It doesn't half fluff a lot of chances, so yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be sticking with him. I'm not sure what your thoughts are on his performances so far, but he definitely is looking a bit like a Wish.com Haaland at the minute for me. But yeah, we'll stick with him. I think he still will get the chances with Liverpool, but yeah, it's been a slow start in general. Right, and I'm going to leave it there for that episode. Slightly shorter one than we used to, but in the next video, I'll be doing that. That'll probably be out towards the end of the week once we've had the second round of Premier League fixtures and Arsenal playing their Europa League match. Once we've had those two out of the way, I'll go over the points scored in those games, and then I'm going to just do a little preview of game week 11. Go over my teams again, and then just let you know what some of my transfer plans might be for game week 11 with what very few transfers I have left. But yeah, hope you all had a good game week so far, and best of luck with the rest of game week 10. See you on the next one.